Keith Moon's drumming style was considered unique by his bandmates in The Who, though it sometimes proved frustrating. John Entwistle noted that Moon tended to play faster or slower depending on his mood. He played zigzag, like a skier, Entwistle said, explaining why Moon used 2 sets of tom-toms. Roger Daltrey stated that Moon instinctively placed drum fills in spots where no one else would think to. Unlike contemporary rock drummers like Ginger Baker and John Bonham, Moon hated drum solos and refused to play them in concerts. Moon thoroughly enjoyed touring as it gave him a chance to socialize with his bandmates. When not playing live, he often felt restless and bored, viewing his life as a long and wild journey. His eccentric behavior earned him the nickname Moon the Loon. Keith John Moon, an English musician who played drums for the rock band The Who, is recognized as one of the best drummers in the history of rock music. His unique playing style, as well as his eccentric and often self-destructive behavior, made him famous. Moon grew up in Wembley and began playing drums in the early 1960s. After playing with the local band Beachcombers, he joined The Who in 1964 before they recorded their first single. Moon was known for his unique drumming style, emphasizing tom-toms, cymbal crashes, and drum fills. During his career with The Who, his drum kit continued to grow. And along with Ginger Baker, he was considered one of the first rock drummers to regularly use double bass. Although he sometimes collaborated with other musicians and appeared in films, Moon remained dedicated to playing in The Who until his death. Aside from his skills as a drummer, Moon was infamous for frequently destroying his equipment on stage and wrecking hotel rooms while on tour. He enjoyed blowing up toilets with cherry bombs or dynamite and smashing televisions. His 21st birthday party in Flint, Michigan, is often cited as a prime example of rock group decadence. Moon experienced various setbacks during the 1970s, including the accidental death of his chauffeur, Neil Boland, and the collapse of his marriage. Neil Boland was the driver and personal security guard of Keith Moon, drummer of the English rock band The Who. On January 4, 1970, in a tragic incident, Neil Boland died when he was accidentally run over by a car driven by Keith Moon. This occurred as Moon was trying to escape a group of aggressive fans outside a pub in Hatfield, Hertfordshire. Boland fell in front of the car and Moon, who was intoxicated, could not avoid him. This incident had a significant impact on Moon's life and added to the emotional burden he carried until the end of his life. He suffered from alcoholism and was known for his decadent lifestyle and dark humor, earning him the nickname Moon the Loon. While touring with The Who, he collapsed on stage several times and had to be hospitalized. During his final tour with the band in 1976, and during the production of The Kids Are Alright and Who Are You, his declining health was evident. Moon returned to London from Los Angeles in 1978 and died in September from an overdose of clomethazole, a medication used to treat alcohol withdrawal symptoms. Moon's drumming style continues to be appreciated by critics and musicians. He was posthumously inducted into the Modern Drummer Hall of Fame in 1982, becoming the second rock drummer to be chosen, and in 2011, he was named the second greatest drummer of all time by Rolling Stone readers. Moon was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990 as a member of The Who. Keith John Moon was born to Alfred Charles and Kathleen Winifred Moon on August 23, 1946, at Central Middlesex Hospital in northwest London, and was raised in Wembley. As a child, Moon was hyperactive and restless with a great interest in music and The Goon Show. He attended Alperton Secondary Modern School after failing the 11+ exam, which prevented him from entering grammar school. His art teacher once said that Moon was retarded artistically and idiotic in other respects, while his music teacher noted that he had great ability, but must guard against a tendency to show off. At the age of 12, Moon joined the local Sea Cadet Corps band as a bugle player, but found the instrument too difficult and switched to drums. He was interested in practical jokes, homemade science equipment, and explosions. After school, Moon often practiced drums at Macari's music studio on Ealing Road, learning the basics of the instrument. He left school around Easter 1961 at the age of 14 and later enrolled at Harrow Technical College, which led him to work as a radio repairman, allowing him to buy his first drum kit. Moon took drum lessons from Carlo Little of Screaming Lord Sutch, costing 10 shillings per lesson. His playing style was influenced by jazz, American surf music, and rhythm and blues, with inspiration from session drummer Hal Blaine. American surf music, or surf rock, is a genre of rock music that originated in the early 1960s in Southern California. This genre has two main subgenres, instrumental surf rock and vocal surf pop. His favorite musicians included Gene Krupa, DJ Fontana, Tony Meehan of The Shadows, and Viv Prince of Pretty Things. Moon also enjoyed singing, particularly Motown music, and idolized the Beach Boys. Roger Daltrey said that Moon would have played for the Beach Boys if given the chance, even at the height of The Who's fame. Moon joined his first serious band, The Escorts, replacing his best friend Jerry Evans. In December 1962, he joined the Beachcombers, a semi-professional cover band in London that played hits from groups like The Shadows. During his time with the Beachcombers, Moon added theatrical tricks to his performance, such as shooting the lead singer with a starter pistol. The Beachcombers consisted of members who had day jobs. Moon worked in the sales department at British Gypsum and was the most eager to become a professional musician. In April 1964, at the age of 17, he auditioned for The Who as a replacement for Doug Sandom. After his departure, the Beachcombers continued as a local cover band. The famous story of how Keith Moon joined The Who happened after the departure of their previous drummer, Doug Sandom. Moon showed up at a show, dressed in ginger clothes and with his hair dyed ginger. He claimed he could play better than the session drummer performing at the time and was invited to play during the second set. Moon nearly destroyed the drum kit in the process, breaking the bass drum pedal and two skins. After the performance, Pete Townshend and Roger Daltrey invited Moon to play again the following Monday. Though initially apprehensive, Moon agreed and informally joined the band. Moon later joked that he had just been filling in for the last 15 years and was never officially asked to join permanently. Moon's presence changed the group's dynamics. Sandom had previously been a peacemaker between Daltrey and Townshend, but Moon's temper made internal conflicts more frequent. Despite often clashing with other members, especially Daltrey and Townshend, Moon remained a crucial part of the band. His unique drumming style influenced The Who's music structure, creating an original sound recognized by many critics and fans. Although initially considered untimely by John Entwistle, Moon's distinctive style became a key element in The Who's musical identity. Keith Moon's favorite stunt was blowing up toilets with explosives. This habit began in 1965 when he bought a box containing 500 cherry bombs. Pete Townshend recalled an incident where he found that the toilet in Moon's hotel room was missing, leaving only an S-shaped pipe. Moon explained that he threw a cherry bomb into the toilet as it exploded, and from then on, The Who was often kicked out of hotels for such damage. Moon then moved from cherry bombs to M80s and eventually to dynamite, which became his favorite explosive. He was fascinated by the destruction it caused, and his reputation as rock's premier wrecker grew. Tony Fletcher wrote that no hotel or dressing room toilet was safe until Moon ran out of explosives. John Entwistle recalled that he was often involved in toilet explosions with Moon. In a 1981 interview with the Los Angeles Times, Entwistle admitted, "Many times when Keith blew up a toilet, I was standing behind him with a match." One famous incident involved a hotel manager asking Moon to turn down his noisy tape recorder. In response, Moon put a lit stick of dynamite in the toilet and closed the bathroom door. After the explosion, he turned his tape recorder back on and told the manager that was the noise. Because of The Who's instrument-smashing stage act and Moon's enthusiasm for wrecking hotels, the group was in debt throughout the 1960s. Entwistle estimated they lost around £150,000. Although they began to stabilize financially after Tommy, Moon continued to rack up debt, buying numerous cars and gadgets until he went bankrupt. His financial recklessness reduced his earnings from the 1975 UK tour to just £47.35.